Hey guys, it's Mario here, and in this video I wanted to go over how long does it take to get a six-pack. So how long will you need to diet to get those abs to pop out, to really show, to reduce that body fat level, to get to that ripped, lean physique? And this is a question that I get asked every single day, 365 days of the year, from guys all around the world. It is the golden standard, so let's face it. I mean, in today's age, having a six-pack as a guy really means something. It really means that you're working hard on this area of your life, that you're handling your fitness and your health, and it's really one of the most awesome things that you can do. So how long does it take to get there? And in this video, I wanted to go over some of the calculations, some of the expectations, and also some of the mistakes that guys often make on that journey to getting a six-pack. So let's start off with the first one, which is, what's your goal weight when you aim to get a six-pack? So how long do you need to diet? How much of that weight do you need to take off? And what's really happening here? So let's start off with some simple math. I'm not gonna bore you too much here. So let's take an average Joe who's been training in the gym for about a year or two, and he's about 180 pounds and let's say 16-17% body fat. So that's kind of that body fat percentage where you don't really see any sign of abs. So you just simply have pretty much a decent chunk of fat on your abdominal muscles. You might have been training for a while, you're pretty strong, but there's no sign of abs. So you want to lean down, you want to prepare, you want to get ripped. How long will that take? So 180 pounds, 16-17% body fat. First, number one is calculate how much lean body mass you're carrying at that level. So that's a simple math thing here. So let's say 16-17% of 180 would be about 30 pounds if we round that up. So if we take 180 minus 30, that would be 150 pounds. So let's say that person has about 150 pounds of lean body mass. Now you just simply have to take that number and see how much would that person have to weigh if they had 10% body fat. So you take 150 pounds and you divide that by 0.9 or 90% with lean body mass taken in consideration. So that would be about 166 pounds. And I'm gonna leave this calculation in the description below for you guys so you can do your math if you want to. So let's say that person has to be at 166 pounds to be at 10% body fat. And now you simply, hey, here's 180 minus 166. We have 14 pounds to lose. So 14 pounds of pure fat to lose. And this is where the problem starts. So this is where the expectations are really necessary to be managed. And here's where you need to know how long will this take. So 14 pounds. Most guys will make the first mistake here. They will assume that they were gonna be losing 1 pound of fat per week. So they're gonna say, hey, 14 pounds, that's just 14 weeks of dieting and I'm good to go. And that's not true. As a natural lifter, let me give you some figures because I worked with athletes for the last 3 years. I worked with hundreds of people. It will take you twice as long. So if you think it's gonna take you 14 weeks, it's gonna take 28 weeks. And that's half a year. This is something people don't wanna hear. They wanna hear fast cuts, fast results, getting ripped very fast, like those diets from like 8 to 10 weeks. You hear 12 weeks as a most common figure, and some people will say, hey, bodybuilders take only 10 to 12 weeks. Probably those bodybuilders are taking a shit ton of drugs, and that's something that is a different topic that I don't want to go into this video. But as a natural lifter, you can expect this process to last a lot longer. So I would say if you did your math and you said 14 pounds, 14 weeks, no, that's 28 weeks. Even though you might initially be losing a pound per week, that might not all be body fat, and that's not all gonna be body fat. And that's the second thing here, is that your body weight change doesn't necessarily mean that you've been losing body fat. Anything else can be as well taken in consideration, like body weight, like it can be influenced by water weight that you're holding. You might be losing some muscle mass as well. I mean, there's many fluctuations. You might be holding on some water, so at some point you're just like, well, my weight hasn't changed at all. Is the diet working, right? And that's called being in a weight loss plateau. On top of that, in that whole process, you're gonna have diet breaks. Every 6 to 8 weeks, you might wanna take a diet break to let yourself psychologically take a break and physiologically to recover some of the hormones, because as you lose weight, your body will be adapting to that level, and then what's going to happen is going to reduce your unconscious activity through reducing your NEAT levels, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is something that you're pretty much classified as fidgeting, maintaining your posture, like you lean more on a table, you prefer to walk more, stand, you're just less tired. This is very, very individual. This depends on an individual basis, can vary a lot, so even up to 2,000 calories in some people, which is just simply crazy. So your body will fight you as you go through that journey. But I mean, getting to 10% body fat isn't that hard in a sense that the adaptations to get to 10% body fat are not as nearly as hard as getting from 10 to 6% body fat, where it just gets exponentially harder. So let's focus on just the 10%. So first off, as I said there, the expectations are usually mismanaged poorly because guys think that diet will take a lot less than it really does take. So make sure to have the right expectations. So as someone who needs to lose 14 pounds, I would say that's going to be at least 28 weeks. Maybe if you do it correctly, if it's not your first cut, you can do it in like about 20 weeks, 22 weeks. And that's kind of the realistic figure there to keep in mind. So make sure to really not shoot yourself in the foot at the first place by just simply having the wrong expectation. The second thing, the second biggest problem with dieting down is that guys think they're much leaner than they actually are. You will hear this story all the time. Hey bro, I'm 15% body fat. No, you're not. Like, that's just silly. There's too many guys, who claim that they're 14, 15% body fat and they're like, well, I can cut down and if I just add a little bit of walking or if I just cut my calories or add some cardio, I can do that in 4 or 5 weeks. No, you can't. If you were a true 15% body fat, you would already have some outline of your abs. And most guys I see on the forums and on social media, they get encouraged in the wrong way by their friends, by their peers, by just some random trolls, who are telling them, yeah bro, you're at 13, 14%. You just don't have that much to go until you get a six-pack. While realistically, these guys are often about 18, 19% body fat. They're not even close to getting to that six-pack level. So that's the problem, right? People don't want to hear these figures. They're like, rather live in an illusion and then get impatient and blow their diets and just not be able to sustain the diet for as long as it's necessary to get that six-pack, because people fed them with lies. People fed them, like, not just people, but also marketing, ads, and all this crap that you see on the internet is just feeding you with figures that are not realistic. So if you're watching this video, if you can't see any of your abs, you're nowhere near 15% body fat. Just keep that in mind when you're dieting down. That's not bad. I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm just saying that you want to be real with yourself. And I know you watching this video, you want to hear the actual facts. You don't want someone to lie to you. You don't want someone to scam you or manipulate you. And what I really proud myself on this channel is to really give people the right information so they're not mismanaging their own expectations, because this is a hard journey. This is not an easy journey. And if you think it's going to be easy, you're most likely going to fail, because you're not expecting it to be hard, and you want to expect this to be hard and long, and that's what's actually making it easy. When you know how long it's going to take, when you have someone confirm that reality to you, then it's going to be an easier journey. And I wish I had someone to tell me, yeah dude, it's going to take fucking 20, 30 weeks to get to what you're aiming at. And then I would really thank that person and say, hey man, like, thanks, because I had no freaking idea. I thought it was going to take 8, 10 weeks. And often guys, they start preparing for the summer instead of starting to prepare in like January, if they're really overweight, if they kind of blew their bulk. They're starting to prepare in April or May, and then this halfway summer, they're nowhere near their goal, and then they get impatient. They either cut calories further, or they just simply say, oh, fuck this dieting, this is not for me, and then they get overweight. Again, they say, hey, I'm just the kind of person that just bulks all the time, and they never really try, or they never really get to that level, because I know they want to get to that level of six-pack, but they just been manipulated so much that they lose the trust in the whole process. The process works, trust me. The process definitely works, but you just have to be diligent with it. You have to know what you're aiming at. You have to know how long it will take. So as I said, it's going to take twice as long as you think. And the final thing is that the biggest mistake guys make when they're doing this is they are not objective with measurement tools. And this is not their fault. I mean, this is not our fault, because a lot of the tools that we have at our disposal, such as these weight scales that are showing body fat percentages, and even measurements that your personal trainer might be doing to you in the gym or someone else, they are completely off. You know, they're just estimates. They might not even be off, but they're just simply estimates, and these estimates are never accurate. So you can't really rely on these estimates. So one thing that I would always say is that the king of measurement, the king of measuring your progress is the mirror. Like, that's the first thing. If you're looking in the mirror, you want to see improvements. If the improvements are not happening every single couple, I mean, maybe not every single week, but every 2 or 3 weeks, I mean, you're probably doing something wrong. And my second favorite way, except the mirror, and it's a really good combo with the mirror, is using a caliper, but not using any formula, but just simply taking the raw caliper number from the caliper. So you just pinch your skin at the abdominal spot there, the specific spot on the abdominal area that it is in all the guides for the calipers that you do buy from eBay or Amazon. And then you look at that number and just simply compare that number over the next course of a few weeks. And then if you see that raw number going down, that means you're doing something right. That means your fat is decreasing. Because here's a reality check for you. Some weeks you will be losing fat and your weight will stay the same. And that's called being in a quote unquote weight loss plateau, because your weight isn't just influenced by body fat. It's also influenced by the amount of muscle mass you're maybe building throughout this process. Also, you might be retaining some water because you were especially stressed that week. You couldn't get an hour or two of sleep. You're doing some stressful stuff at work. And all of a sudden, your weight isn't changing because you just, I don't know, holding on a little bit more water. This is especially true with girls who can hold up to like 15 pounds of water weight, which is crazy. So it's important to understand that there's gonna be fluctuations, and then you wanna make sure that you average your weigh-ins on the course of a week, but also look at the raw caliper measurement, because this is a very realistic measurement of how much body fat you actually have. And you're gonna see this body fat be reduced just by looking at the mirror plus that. And then I would use the third option, it would always be using a weight scale, and I would say you want to measure yourself on a daily basis to make sure that you get as many data points as possible, and you can average that out on a weekly basis and get a pretty accurate trend of whether the weight is going down or not. So these are some of the most common mistakes. As I said, guys are often misled by social media thinking that they're starting the diet when they're on much leaner than they actually are. And then the second point really is to realize that it's going to take twice as long. So if you input your numbers in the formula that I'm going to have in the description below for you guys, it's going to take longer. It's definitely going to take longer. So expect that. Be ready for that. Tighten up the system. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Take care of yourself, and you will get there. I mean, I'm 100% confident that every single guy watching this video can get a six-pack with simply, if they look at it very realistically, objectively. And if you hire a coach, it's going to be a much easier process, because the coach is that objective person who's telling you, hey, this is the timeline, this is what you can expect. At this point, we're going to take a diet break because you've been dieting for a while. You need to stabilize at this level, let your body recover physiologically and psychologically, and then let's go for another round of pushing to lose more fat. I mean, having a coach throughout this process is an extremely helpful way that you can reach your goals much faster, and you're gonna get there much easier than anybody else who's self-coaching. And that would be my first recommendation. I mean, with working over 100 clients, I can tell you that every single person is individual. They fight different things. Someone's body will fight more against that body fat loss. Someone's body will fight a lot less. So some people have it an easier way of getting there. I mean, even at you get a 10% body fat, you're not really sure how you're gonna look like, if that's gonna be enough for you to really have those abs pop out. Maybe your abs aren't genetically developed as well, and they're not getting as developed from those compound movements. You might need to do some targeted work. I mean, at 10% body fat, 10 people will look all differently, and that's just the way it is. Your abs are just the way they are. So you want to make sure that you really lean down and see what you have, and then take it from there and really work on this. As I said, it's a longer process, but if you manage your expectations correctly, if you work hard, you will get there. Have 100% confidence in you. So hope you guys enjoy this video. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions for this specific journey, for this specific topic. So shoot me a comment below. And aside from that, make sure to hit that subscribe button to support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.